Trucks are getting bigger overall, but there's one aspect where many of them are getting smaller, and that's under the hood. Automakers have been adding some smaller displacement engines to their trucks, and that includes diesels. At one time, you had to go to a heavy-duty truck to get a diesel, but all three domestic companies are offering them in half-ton trucks, and I have one in my ride, the 2020 Chevy Silverado 1500. It's a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder Duramax diesel mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. You can get it in 4 trim levels, the lowest of these being the LT, but I have the top-of-the-line High Country, which starts at $66,398. Diesel is never a cheap option, and it adds $32.45 here. But depending on the trim you choose, the diesel could add as much as $8,500, depending on the trim level standard engine that you're upgrading. My truck has a few other options as well, and it comes to just over $79,000 before freight and taxes. And really, that's where the rubber meets the road, or at least the diesel meets the gasoline. There are several advantages to diesel, including its low-end power. Out of just 3 liters, this engine spins 277 horsepower, but you get 460 foot-pounds of torque. In combined city and highway driving, it's rated at just 9.4 liters per 100 kilometers. Diesels are strong engines, and with proper maintenance, they can last a long time. And they tend to hold their value, so you can expect to get more back at resale. But on the other side, as mentioned, you'll pay more to buy it. You'll also pay more for oil changes, and you have to add diesel exhaust fluid. The price of diesel in relation to gasoline can swing up and down too. You never get something for nothing, and you'll have to look at how far you drive in a year and do the math to see if it's going to work in your favor. But if you opt for it, you're getting a very sweet unit under this hood. This is one of the smoothest small diesels I've driven. It's very quiet. It starts right away, even when it's been sitting overnight in the cold. It even has start-stop technology, which shuts it off when you're idling with your foot on the brake, such as at a red light. That's become pretty common on gas engines, but it's not something I ever expected to see on a diesel. The Silverado is advertised with a maximum towing capacity of 13,400 pounds, but towing also depends on the vehicle's configuration and equipment. My tester, a crew cab 4x4 with short bed and diesel engine, can pull a maximum of 9,300 pounds. Speaking of towing, GM's made that easier with camera technologies that can help guide you to the hitch with a close-up view. You can also get a bed view for hooking up a gooseneck, along with available transparent trailer view. This stitches together several camera views, so it looks like you can see through the trailer at what's behind and around it. It's pretty cool technology, although I prefer the blind spot monitoring system available from Ford and Ram, which includes the length of the trailer. For me, they're better than looking at a ghost trailer and figuring out exactly how far back those other vehicles are alongside. The High Country is the highest trim, and on the outside that gives you a bronze and chrome grille, side assist steps, LED headlamps, LED cargo lamps, and a spray-in bed liner. Like all Silverados, you get bumper end steps that are a brilliantly simple way to get up into the bed. The Silverado's interior set the standard when the design first came out, but it's starting to look a bit tired, especially in relation to the Ram's cabin, which I think is way out in front. Even so, there are still a lot of nice touches. There's a lot of storage space in the console, and you get a wireless charger. There are 2 glove boxes. The front seats are heated and ventilated. The rear seats have a neat little cubby compartment in the backrest. And you get an 8-inch touchscreen with navigation, a Wi-Fi hotspot, satellite radio, and Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Chevy's pretty good with simplicity as well, and I like that there are big dials and buttons for most functions, as well as easy-to-use menus and icons in the screen. But I'm not fond of the gear shift lever, which is mounted on the column and squirms like a wet noodle when you're selecting a gear. It feels cheap on a truck that's pretty expensive. And my truck's even more expensive because it has several options, including a camera-based rear-view mirror, head-up display, power sunroof, emergency front braking and lane keeping assist. And to be sure you get the message about your blind spot or an obstacle up front, the seat vibrates a warning. There's a lot to like on this truck, but this new diesel engine is the top. It's not a cheap option by any means, but it's a great engine to drive, and it really rounds this truck out. But if it comes down to economics, rather than just I want it, you'll have to do the math and figure out if diesel's what will do it for you. And for Driving.ca, I'm a frozen Jill McIntosh. I'm going to get back in this truck because it's got a heated steering wheel.